Hello students, and welcome to the video lesson on using the scanner in Java. And to this point in our learning, we haven't really done anything where we allow the user to interact with the computer program. All we've really done is write a program that prints stuff. So now I'm going to set this up so that we have the ability to, in fact, get input from a different user. So I have my main function set up, and there's a new line that we're going to have to add to this. This is going to be called, we need to say import. So import just means to take in some new data, some new classes from Java. Java.util.scanner. Okay. So this line allows us access to Java's scanner class, and the scanner does lots of different things, but it's a class that allows input from the keyboard, from other places too, but we're going to use it here primarily for the keyboard. So at the start of my main function, I'm going to declare a new object of the scanner type. I'm going to name it input. And this other part, if you're new to Java, this probably doesn't make any sense to you right now. Just type it and just go with it for now. I will explain later as class goes on what this actually means. But what we have now here is we have a scanner named input. Okay? And we're going to use this input item to get information from the keyboard. By the way, I don't have to name it input. It just makes the most amount of sense at this point to do it. So I'm going to prompt the user with a little message. Okay, so the message is just going to say enter a number. And at this point, if I compile it, it works fine. If I run it, it runs and then nothing happens because I didn't allow for the user to enter it in. And in order to get the number in, I have to do this line, input dot get int. So this says take my input object and ask and wait on the keyboard input to give me an integer. So we can compile, and here you can see that this is going to give us a bit of a trouble. It says cannot find symbol dot get. Oh, I'm sorry, this is my mistake. This should say next int. Next int. Compile, and this will work. Okay. At least it will compile. And if I hit run, it will also run. And now it waits for me to enter a number here, this little dot, this little cursor right here. So I can enter 8, for example. But 8, it gets it from the keyboard and then nothing happens. The real power behind all of this is being able to save this value. So I can create a new integer. I'm going to call it my num, and I'm going to save it from the input. So now, after I do this, I can do things like system.out.println my num is, and then add my num to print it out from the line. Compile and run, enter a number 17, and now you see it recognizes that the number 17 has been saved here in the my num variable. I can do some other things too. My num plus equals 5. So this is rather a silly program that doesn't do anything really interesting except to illustrate the concept that what it does is it allows you to enter in a number. Say if I enter in 80, it's going to print out 85 because it's going to take 80 into this variable my num, add 5 to it, save it back into my num, and then print that out. See? Just like that. Now some errors that you might see if I run this again, but this time I start typing in gibberish. All of this mess right here basically says that you broke it. The user broke it. It asked for an integer called next. It's using this function next int, and you fed it gibberish. Okay. Even if I were to enter a decimal, it would still throw up on me, because it doesn't want a decimal, it only wants an integer. So if I want to get a double, well, I can use a different function called next double. So let me show you that code. Okay, so I've added this new code here. I declared a new decimal number input, this time this function called next double. And note here, I don't need to redeclare the input. Okay, I'm not making a new input again. I'm just using that same input from the keyboard to get a double. So now I compile, I can run. The first time enter a number, it's going to ask for an integer, so I make sure I got to type in some sort of integer. That's 5 to print it out. And I didn't prompt the user this time, so it gets no message. So I can, just knowing the code, I can do that. What I really should have done is prompt the user. This is just good behavior. Enter any real number. Okay. Compile, run, enter a number. I have to enter 3 or some sort of integer, and here I can either enter 13.14159, and that's what it's going to spit out at me, or output. I shouldn't say spit out. Okay, so this is just a very basic concept, basic ideas on how to get information from the keyboard. We can do a lot more with this scanner object later on. We're going to get sentences, and we're going to get combinations of different things. We can even get paragraphs. We can even use this at times to get information from a saved file. But for now, all it really does is it allows you to get two things from the two things from the keyboard, some type of integer perhaps, and some types of double. So thank you for watching. Be sure to continue with the series of videos and have a wonderful day.